Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Northern Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Northern Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers, bringing you guys some live coverage here of storms happening through the DFW metroplex right now. We've got a storm near Wiley that has had a history of producing up to golf ball sized hail. Currently got a $50 report coming in out of that. So reports coming in all around here for severe hail. You can see all of that activity that's happening through the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. So we're just going to jump right into a couple of these storms here. So our first one, like I said, is just north of Wiley, Texas here. So this report was going to be for our golf balls, 1.75 inch hail here through Wiley, and then we've got another report up here just to the northwest of Wiley, and that one is going to be our $50 report. So that's near Lucas, Texas there. That was reported just a few minutes ago at 5:41. And as the storm continues to track eastward, we should still continue to see some severe hail along with this hail core. There it goes, jumping up to 380 up near Farmersville here. So if we want to put a correlation coefficient scope on there, we can see our hail. And oh boy, looks like quite a bit of hail has fallen there where Justin is circling there. Got Justin at the producer controls today. We've got probably still dropping 1.75 inch, especially up here where we have that green and blue up there. So we'll have to see if we get more large hail reports coming out of that, but definitely at least quarters to $50 consistent with this report here, and probably doing some larger hail where we get these greens and these blues for our correlation coefficient. For you guys that don't know, that's just how different the particles in the atmosphere are. If you see super low correlation coefficient like this in the greens and blues, that indicates hail, so that's what we're looking for here today. So moving on back to reflectivity, let's zoom it all the way out so that they can see everything that's going on here through Texas right now. It's been a pretty active evening. Those storms really kind of blew up out of nowhere. We saw them initiating here through the southwest part of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro, and then they've tracked into this line of supercells here all the way down from I-45 up to just west of I-35 here south of Sherman. So got a whole line of supercell thunderstorms tracking just east of Dallas, Texas right now. Got a second line of them coming in behind that, and all of these could be our hail, wind, and tornado producers for tonight. So let's jump in on the northernmost severe warning here and just take a look at what we've got with that. Is it just going to be, let's see, okay, yeah, we've got two here, one to the north, one to the south. This one to the north, we've got a couple clusters west of McKinney and southeast of McKinney. This one near Farmersville. Is this, oh, this is the one we were looking at towards Wiley. So this is the one that's producing that 1.75 inch. Do you want to do a scope over this one and see if this one might be starting to ramp up as it pushes eastward? Looks like it's probably going to still be doing sub-severe right now. Say maybe pennies to nickels with that. But if we can get those correlation coefficients to drop a little more with that northward storm, we could start to see some severe hail along with that as well. It is probably doing hail right now as it tracks northwest of McKinney. Then we've got this one over Plano. What's that hail marker doing on that one over Plano? All these are really going to be hail producers for us tonight. We've got just a ton of instability in the atmosphere right now. So this is maximum hail size just indicated by the marker. So that's not actually what's happening right here. But yeah, it's looking like it's doing some hail, probably getting ready to do some severe hail near the Plano area. So let's take that off and let's do a correlation scope over that too. Like I said, lots of hail is going to be going on tonight. We have super high lapse rates, super high CAPE. Just means a ton of instability in the atmosphere. And so as these storms move into that environment, we're going to continue to see hail falling. So yeah, there you go. Looks like we got a hail core going on there. Could be getting ready to drop some quarters as that moves eastward over the Garland area. Can we do reflectivity with a correlation coefficient scope so we can see what part of the storm that corresponds to? Is this getting ready to push eastward maybe, or, okay, yeah, no, that's not doing anything crazy right now. I don't know if this is gonna be, I think just the back end of the storm, it looks like. So, and then let's jump down. We've got a severe warning south of this. So we got some hail getting ready to fall in Garland here. And then south of that, we've got this whole severe thunderstorm warning right now. Let's see, can you click on that warning and query that? See what we got going on there. So this is our storm that's under the warning right now. So that's gonna be for Balch Springs, Lancaster, Mesquite, and Waxahachie. Forgive me if I mispronounce some of these guys. I'm not a Texan, but I'm trying. Hail size is going to be 1 inch on this warning with 60-mile-an-hour winds, so we'll be the judge of that. Let's do some correlation coefficients now over this Ferris and Palmer. We're just kind of getting a scope for what all is happening here today because there's a ton going on. So if we, correlation coefficient over that, looks like not a ton of severe activity with this either. Do we want to take a look at velocities? Is there anything happening wind-wise with these storms as they continue? Not really looking like anything crazy for the southern storm quite yet, but if we go, switch again back to reflectivity, and if we look at the structure these storms are taking, guys, you can start to see some of them have a little bit of a notch down to the southern end of them, and that's just that supercell structure as it kind of gets that inflow, and then it starts to get that updraft, and then we get that hail with it as well. So that's what we're looking at through all of these. There's that inflow that Justin just pointed out there. It comes into that storm, it wraps around it, get all that lift, and then all that hail that falls with it. So it looks like there is some hail falling. It's just going to be below our severe limits. So we'll see if we can ramp that up as that continues to push eastward. And then we got this little one to the south here. Looks like it's not doing a whole lot either. It looks like most of our severe hail is going to be currently to the north of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, near the McKinney and Wiley area. So let's circle back to that and see what that's up to now that we've probably got a new frame. You can see that whole line developing. Guys, this really just came out of nowhere. Like an hour ago, it was nothing, just some showers, and now we got all of this. So that just gives you an idea how much instability is really in the atmosphere with this. So is that a new report that came in?
Yeah, it is.
All right, nice. So, okay, doing quarters, and I don't see the little blinky thing on there to indicate where that was, but is that with here?
No, it's up here to the northwest.
Northwest?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Okay, cool. So looks like to the northwest of McKinney there, we've got quarters following with that Selena storm that's happening. So if we zoom on into that, that's the one we were looking at just a minute ago, and there's that notch structure that we were talking about a second ago with that inflow happening and then all of that wrapping up. And so there's our quarters happening through there. It looks like 1.5 to 2 inch in Frisco right now. So maybe we want to jump down into Frisco in a second, but here's our hail core on that Selena storm, dropping quarters right now. And then if we move southward, let's go into Frisco. Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh. All right, so there's some roads on our Selena storm, but yeah, let's take a look at Frisco. My car just got destroyed. Ooh, man, that's unfortunate. All right, so Justin's getting us over to Frisco right now. Is that this storm? Oh, is this a storm over Garland?
Yeah, Frisco is.
Okay.
Hold on,
Taking a
let me
little
see
stroll
where,
here.
I'm gonna see the
We did get a
reports
quarter
coming
report earlier out of University Park, so just right downtown in Dallas. Got these storms moving through there. So they've been spitting out some quarters to $50 pretty consistently across the area. But that larger hail is really what we're looking for now as that continues to ramp up. Based on the fact that we got those northern storms producing quarters, I'm gonna guess that this one is as well. Pea-sized hail in the colony right now, so there you go. Just like a ton of hail happening with all of these as they continue to fly eastward through the area and we get continued storm development out behind it. So is this the storm that we're looking at, Justin?
Yes.
All right, nice. So let's do a correlation scope once again over this and see, yeah, we're looking at that 2 inch in Frisco. So here's what looks like would be the hail core off of this storm right now. Not looking super impressive on our correlation scope. I'm trying to find you that 2 inch swath that would have come through. Do you want to move back in time, Justin, as that passed over Frisco.
Yeah.
We can scroll the radar back and kind of analyze this storm as it came over the area. So he's going to get us all that. This is, let's see, maybe half to an inch in Frisco. So that does kind of match up more with what we're seeing on radar here, half an inch to an inch. But again, these storms are going to continue to produce definitely quarters and half dollars as they continue to track eastward. So are we going back here? Let's see, that's 525. It's 555 now. Nice. All right, so yeah, there it goes up to the northeast. Looks like it tapered off a little bit as it crossed 635 there. And then it's trying to get going once again as it passes over Garland. But if we go back a little bit there, let's rock it back and forth a little bit here. Yeah, it really kind of tapered off as it went over the highway there, and now it's trying to get going again as it again moves into a better atmosphere. But you know, it's in the works right now. It's a work in progress. So yeah, let's go back up to our McKinney storm. Actually, there's just so many to analyze right now. Let's pick your poison here. Let's go up to those McKinney storms and check on what that one was doing over by, I guess it's up by Melissa now. Okay, so it looks like things are starting to taper off a little bit. This was the quarter to half dollar. Houston, tonight. You got to wait on it, wait for this line to come through. It's probably mostly going to be wind for you guys in Houston because this will have banded up by that point. But there's still a chance for a hailstone here or there. So mostly a wind threat for you guys in Houston. Looks like most of the hail is going to stay confined to the Dallas area. So Salina, we say we got some larger hail moving through there. So we did get that severe report coming out of this storm. And then we've got another hail core forming just to the northwest of Farmersville. If we query this hail marker here, we can see what it's doing. And this is just a really good indicator of what updraft the storm has. It's not the best indicator of how strong the storm actually is, but or how large the hail actually is, but it's a good indicator of how strong the storm is. So maximum hail size on this is half an inch according to this marker, which just means that the updraft isn't crazy. The storm's probably trying to peter out a little bit as it tracks over Farmersville. So nothing of concern up here. There's a couple cells getting ready to move over McKinney right now through the severe warning, and we could see maybe a little bit of severe out of that. And then down by Sakacy, possibly, we do have another hail core passing over there. So Justin, do you want to give me some CCs and we can just see what of this looks most impressive to us here as we go?
Yeah, there's Frisco over here to the south.
Oh, nice.
West,
okay,
yeah.
Found Frisco. Okay, cool. So let's rock it as it goes over Frisco then, because that was in question there. Yeah. Okay. So I could see. Yeah, there was probably a little bit of hail that fell as it passed over Frisco. I don't know how about large hail as it passed over Frisco. Can we do correlation coefficients when it's back in time? Is that possible? Okay. All right. Yeah. So it looks like there was some hail falling to the northwest side of Frisco. Doesn't look like it was crazy large hail on radar here as it passed over it. It was probably mostly subsevere, probably quarters to half dollars mixed in there as it passed, and we can rock that forward a little. What we're following is this area of blue and green correlation coefficients, and that indicates our hail marker. Tried a little bit as it passed the highway towards Prosper, and that's when we got that quarter report as it just passed northwest or northeast of Prosper. And then it looks like it's petering out again, so let's go back to reflectivity here since that's a little bit clearer. All right, so got a couple more trying to get over McKinney here, trying to ramp up before they do, and then let's check on our southern storms. Let's see. All right, I was just under quarters in Frisco, so there you go. Yep, probably looking at quarters to half dollars. This one's looking a little bit meaner here. As it continues to pass up towards 30 and Heath. We'll take a look at that Wiley storm here in a minute, but let's see. So this one is passing just to the northwest of Heath here, and you got, again, super good notch structure on that. Probably starting to try and rotate and wrap up a little bit. Just means the updraft is pretty good, and we do have a helicity marker on here, which just means, again, the storm's rotating. So let's see what that has to say in terms of, does that give us hail size on those helicity markers? Ooh,
yeah, I can look.
There you go. All right, so there's some CCs on that. Yeah, those yellows and those greens are going to be all our quarters to $half, and we've probably got some ping pong to golf ball size mixing in along I-30 here just to the northwest of Heath. That's going to be tracking northwestward, so can we get a storm track going on that, Justin? Yeah, maximum hail size is going to be 1.5 inches, so again, got a good solid updraft on that storm as it continues to develop. So this is a developing storm moving across the highway. So if we query the warning, we can see how fast these are moving. All right, wind speeds are going to be 60, quarters to $half on that, probably starting to drop a little bit bigger, ping pong to golf ball size stones. And again, that is going to be tracking, I believe, to the east, but let's if you, do you know how to?
Northeast at 30.
Northeast at 30, okay, can we get a storm track thrown up on there?
Yep.
Looks like it's probably heading just right, threading the needle between Quinlan and Greenville. So if it's tracking, all right, so that gives it 610, gonna hit Rockwall, 614 Fate, 623 Josephine, and then 626 Caddo Mills. So if you're in the track of this storm, note that it is producing severe hail at this point, likely going to be doing large severe hail. So again, if you are in that path, if you're in this cone right here, you want to make sure you get indoors, cover up, and be prepared, you know, for any hail falling, as well as the fact that that's a rotating thunderstorm. This guy is going to try to spin up if it can. Not sure it's going to be singular enough. Everything's kind of getting into this messy cluster, so not sure it's going to be able to drop a tornado, but we're definitely going to want to keep an eye on that as it continues to produce that severe hail. And then down towards the southern part of the line, I don't think anything crazy has been happening yet. Looks like we have maybe a couple little hail cores, but it looks like mostly it's going to be subsevere. This whole line, again, if you guys are just joining us, this developed at around 5 o'clock. This whole line as a couple of little thunder showers over in the southwestern part of the DFW metro, and then in just an hour or so, it's blown up as it passed east. So yeah, reports of golf balls in Princeton, Texas. Yeah, so a lot of these are going to do quarters to $half, and now we're starting to get those larger hail reports as those storms continue to intensify this evening in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So now that we've covered this whole line, let's hop back on up north. That seems to be where the most intense activity is happening right now. Let's look at that Wiley storm. And let's see what is going on with that, if it's still continuing to produce hail, if it's continuing to produce severe hail. Okay, so Wiley is what, right in here?
Yes.
Looks like we got a few hail hail reports, so let's query those. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a ping pong or golf ball report out of those. $half near Princeton. Okay, checks out. What do we got? I think we already looked at this one, but what do we got here? Yeah, $half near Lucas. Okay, we already saw that. So this storm has just been tracking up to the northeast. It's this cell that we're looking at here, and again, we've got that supercell structure, so we do have an updraft on a rotating storm that produces our hail as that continues to track northeastward here. So looking into this, if we want to rock this back a little bit as it goes over Plano and Wiley, this looks like this is currently the storm in the night. We still have plenty of chances to go, but this looks like this probably produced the meanest hail so far. So there were those $half. As we got over the highway, it started to intensify a little bit, so we CC that, and we can see our hail core coming out of that. And then it continued to move northeast where it looks like it's starting to fizzle out a little bit now. We could see it start to cycle up if it tries to try again. But yeah, if we put our correlation coefficients over it right now, it's probably going to look pretty meager. Yeah, there you go. Just a lot of reds, a couple yellows in there, here and there. So still probably producing a little bit, maybe or nickels here and there. Or not nickels, what am I thinking of? The small ones, dimes. Probably producing dimes as that continues to track northeastward. So it's trying, but it looks like it's tapering out for right now. And then we've got these over McKinney that are trying to track over. Let's see what's happening in McKinney right now as we zoom in here. Oop. All right, so we've had these couple of hail cores that have been forming. It looks like they may again be tapering out a little bit as these storms all congeal together. But let's take a look here at our CCs on both of these, all three of these actually, if we can, and see if any of those are doing anything wild. So looks like subsevere over McKinney, not a whole lot over Frisco right now. And then up here, still looking mild towards Salina, but if we take a look at that marker, I want to see how strong our updraft is on that storm here. So let's query that on this storm here. So let's see. Yeah, maximum hail size 1.5 per the marker. So again, there's a good updraft on that storm. It could try to cycle back up as it moves towards the Van Alstyne area. So we're just going to want to keep watch over this. It looks like it's probably still producing, maybe this one's producing nickels to quarters, still pretty isolated, but we could see it start to ramp back up as it moves over the area since that updraft is continuing to truck along. So let's see, Ross, Texas. Unfortunately, that is over some text and I can't read the whole thing, but what'd you say?
It's near Waco.
Okay. Oh, got images of large hail near Waco. Nice. All right, so let's take a look at the whole line here and see what we got going.
If you guys have any pictures, make sure to post them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and you can send those to media@hailtrace.com via email if you'd rather. You can post them in the comments. You can send it to us on our Facebook page. There's a ton of ways to send pictures, but that really helps us out here to verify our hail sizes. If y'all want to send us pictures, that would be awesome. So here's going to be, let's see, where is this near Waco? Oh,
yeah,
this
it's
is
just
near
north.
Ross. I see that. Okay. Yeah, let's get the CCs up and then we'll check our hail marker on that. So CCs, move it up to the, okay, there you go. Probably doing some quarters through there as it continues to track to the northeast. And then if we, the marker went away. That's a bummer. But yeah, let's rock it back a little bit in time and see what that storm is doing. Okay, yeah. All right. Looks like our hail core developed here just shortly after we started coverage, 546, continued to track up to the northeast, and then passed over 35 at around 6 o'clock maybe? Yeah, there it is, 5:57, 6 o'clock. And then it started to ramp up once again after it got out to the east, and now it's probably doing quarters as it continues to push out of the way of the Ross, Texas area. So that's good, and we got another up here, and a ton of these. It's just hail core after hail core after hail core. It's just a whole line of supercells, guys. A ton of them are producing hail right now. We're looking not even for hail, we're looking for the biggest hail right now. It's a whole line of storms out here right now. So max hail size on this is going to be nickels, and so it's a moderate updraft. Not seeing much intensification happening out of that. But we'll probably still see some subsevere hail as that continues to push off to the east there with that storm out to the just to the east of West Texas. And then if we push upward, let's see what else we got. Again, it's just going to be a ton of hail cores through all of this mess that's now making its way through the McKinney area, out of Dallas, and through like Corsicana here. Yeah, this is a storm right now that I'm most interested in. It's got that really nice, nice, thank you for sending that in Messenger. If we want to take a look at that, Justin, that'd be great. But this is a storm I'm most interested in right now. Again, it's got that hook structure. It's definitely producing hail. You can see that bright reflectivity, that bright pink reflectivity is just that really reflective substance being reflected off of the radar beam. And so definitely producing some hail here. Got a good updraft on it, so I'm most interested in what that is doing here. So can we switch to, let's switch to overall CCs, huh? Did you get a picture?
Yes.
Justin's doing a ton over there, so thumbs up to Justin. He's crushing it. But yeah, okay, lost my storm here. Sorry, Justin, can you flip back and forth a couple times here?
Yep.
I'm so sorry, he's doing
No,
a ton of stuff.
You want reflectivity?
There it is. All right. Yeah, reflectivity. I just want to kind of flip back and forth between reflectivity and correlation coefficient and kind of get a good idea of what size the storm is doing. That looks pretty good. And what this is just backscatter. So that means that it's hitting something pretty reflective and it's just scattering off that radar beam. So if we want to zoom in, I like this storm for large hail. Let's zoom in on that. Just a little bit. I want to get some roads, if possible. Yeah, okay, so this is heading towards Rockwall, Texas right now. And correlation coefficient, can we do a scope?
Yep.
We love our CCs here at Hail Trace. That really helps us. That's the best indicator of hail size for us. So doing a scope here. I'm expecting some blues and some greens. Oh, is it not working?
No.
Oh, can you try clearing all instead of clearing the last entry? That works too.
Yeah.
Whatever works easiest for you, Justin. Yeah, so that's going to be our hail core. Oh, there we go. Nice. All right, can we make that bigger? Yeah, let's make that a little bit wider if you can. Ooh, all right. Let's zoom it over here just south of Glen Hill. Oh, yeah, okay, sweet. Yeah, this quarters to half dollars swath, you can see pretty clearly outlined there with that yellow where that meets the red. And then we got these greens forming here. So yeah, that's going to be ping pong to golf ball for sure coming out of this. May even be trying to get ramped up a little bit more because we do continue to see an updraft on this. So this guy could be getting ready to produce a red swath as we push up towards the northeast. So yeah, so this is definitely doing some good hail here. Do we see any rotational velocities yet? It's trying. It's trying to rotate. We don't see any tornadic activity on it yet, but we really want to keep an eye on it because the storm is continuing to intensify and it's staying alone. All these other storms are staying out of its way, so it has plenty of energy to go as it pushes up to the northeast. So we're watching this towards Glen Hill, moving along I-30 towards Rockwall. If you guys are on I-30 right now, you got a storm in the way, so just be aware of that. And if you guys are just living in that area, again, beware of that as the storm continues to track that way. So let's get another marker on that and see where that's going to go with that severe hail, because this one is a severe producer right now, moving up I-30 right now. So let's get a storm track on that. You said it's moving 30 miles an hour to the northeast?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
That storm in Ross looked like it dropped $50.
Can you clear that? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The little thing that says whatever miles per hour needs to match the miles per hour that the storm is doing, and that gives us the accurate. Yeah, so this needs to whoop. Yep. Nice.
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Oh, no, you're good. Okay, yeah, so this is going to hit Rockwall at 6:23, 6:12 now, so it's taking its sweet time. 30 miles an hour is not quick. So 6:23 over Rockwall, 6:30 over CDT Fate. Oh, it's over Fate. That's Central Daylight Time. And then 6:38 over Roy's City. That was embarrassing. Okay, so this is going to get to Roy's City by 6:38 here. So it's taking its sweet time as it tracks northeastward. But again, these cities in this path of this storm need to be aware that this is producing severe hail right now, likely doing at least golf balls, getting ready to do some more as we continue to push up northeastward. And then, okay, let's check on our northernmost storms here and just see what's up. See if this is going to be the story of the night here. Looks like we've got maybe a little hail core forming across I-75 here. Yeah, do we want to do some CCs on that and see what we got there? Yeah, probably doing some quarters there, just to the north of Van Alstyne here. And then that's going to continue off through there. And again, you can see that same structure. It's going to look a little bit different for each storm, but when we've got that hook structure, that's when we have that best chance for severe hail with these storms. So we got one hail core here, a little baby one over here, and again, that's just north of Van Alstyne near I-75. And then if we push off to the east a little bit more, I got one that I'm standing in front of here near Trenton, and I want to take a look at that as well. It's just going to be hail core after hail core after hail core. So if it's hailing in your area, let me know, because there's a ton of these that we're looking at right now. So let's look at this one over Trenton. It's got that rotation marker, so we'll see if that is intensifying. It's starting to kind of cluster up. All these are looking a little messy and chaotic. So, that's not super what we need to see for large and severe hail, but nevertheless, storms are producing severe hail. So that's cool. All right, so yeah, that's real messy. Looks like we could be getting some quarters to half dollars where the brightest CCs are. Can you move that out of the way and we see if that kind of corresponds there? Yeah, let's see, right in there is our hail core. I mean, I could see it producing close to severe limits hail. I'm not convinced it's producing severe. What's that rotation marker say? Let's see. size, $50. Oh, that's the severe thunderstorm warning. Sometimes it's hard to get them. You have to click like right on the little band. Okay, yeah. So it does have an updraft, so this is probably trying to form a little bit. So if we want to rock it back and forth, we can see if it's starting to pick up speed or if it's kind of losing some intensity. Yeah, so there you go. This is a developing storm just east of Trenton. You can see that hail core forming as we go back and forth in time a few slides, and it does have a pretty strong marker on it. So that just, again, means that we got a good updraft on this storm, and this is trying to form some severe hail in the next few minutes here. So then, zooming out a little bit, let's just look at the whole line again. Let's see what we got. Where do we have isolated storms? Where do we have singular storms? So it looks like we got a few that are forming south of Tyler. I know it's pretty rural out here. And then just north of Waco, we had a couple of supercells out there. So let's jump down towards near the Waco area. I think we got some quarter reports out of one of those storms.
Yeah, the picture that came in was like $50.
Picture that came in out of Waco?
Yeah, out of the Ross area.
Nice. All right, they can hear you, right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Let's jump in and take a look at that and see what it's doing now.
John just sent me a photo of 1 to 2 inch hail in Prosper.
Nice. Okay, we'll jump back up there like in a second here. So just a ton to talk about as these storms continue to race eastward here. So up north of Axtell and just southwest of Mount Calm, we've got a storm passing through here. This is the one we were checking on earlier. So if we want to look at this marker, look at the CCs, the usual, see what we've got developing. This is continuing to chug along, so it's not losing any steam. Got a good updraft, so it's going to continue to produce that hail. And if we look at our CCs right now, can we see if it's producing any quarters or close to it? Yeah, it looks like right now it's not, but it could in the next few minutes here. Yeah, so marble up to Ping Pong and Wiley. Yep, we saw some large hail coming out of that supercell out there. And then we've got another cell up near Hubbard that is looking not too promising. Yeah, that one doesn't look like it's anything crazy. Gainesville and Sanger, I am not great at, like, I don't know the Texan geography because I'm from Kentucky. So where is Gainesville and Sanger, Justin?
It's going to be on the north side.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly going to be thunder showers right now. Lots of lightning. Maybe some small hail here and there, like this Carrollton part could be producing a little bit of subsevere hail, but this is mostly going to just be some loud thunderstorms for you guys up near that area, yeah, just north of Denton. Thanks, guys. Yeah, as this continues. Ooh, all right.
That would be my fault.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, wait, Sanger's up to the north.
Okay. Yeah, just north of Denton, you said? Oh yeah, and there's Gainesville. Okay. Yeah, this is the back end of the line of storms. So we've got a couple more cells trying to develop behind that main show. Usually the instability has run out at this point in time, and there's not really much of them to feed off, or much of that to feed off of, or for these storms to feed off of. That took me like 6 tries. But yeah, we could see some. It's probably just going to be mostly heavy rain, maybe a couple of very small hailstones here or there. Not too much to expect out of these right now. It looks like this is going to be the bulk of our severe weather into tonight. Now up towards Thackerville and Marietta, that's in the Oklahoma and very far north Texas, very far southern Oklahoma area. That's where we could see a little bit more severe hail activity possible, because we do have those isolated cells. I believe we have Norman's radar loaded, so if you want to zoom in on that, we should be able to get an idea of what's happening up there, Justin. And then I want to go back to the main, what's happening like with the crazy hail right now. Yeah, so a couple of these, yeah, maximum hail size 1.4, which is specific. And then, yeah, so subsevere US 75, nice, about quarter size. All right, yeah, thank you guys for reporting these in the comments. That helps us out a lot. But these two look like they're probably doing subsevere right now behind that line. I'm really like looking at this area here for all of our severe weather. Specifically this guy, I would not be surprised if that 1 to 2 inch report came out of that storm there. So yeah, it's continuing to chug up to the north. We're starting to lose that hook structure a little bit, but it is in Rockwall right now. So let's zoom in and get some roads. So, you know, if you guys are in Rockwall, you know where the hail's at. Okay, yeah, so how bad is that Rockwall storm? And that's what we're looking at right now. This looks like it's the worst currently that's going on. We do have, there's your hail core, and it means business for sure as it continues to track along the highway here. But it doesn't look as intense as it did a few minutes ago, so it may be cycling. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see what it does. But right now, looks like we have got this hail core along I-30 through Glen Hill and Rockwall along I-30, and this is Townsend Drive would be a good intersection. So I have Dimes and Rockwall. Nice. You guys in North Rockwall, like Southern Rockwall, like near the highway, just, you know, give us a general area for that. But yeah, we do have some hail that's getting produced out of this. Yeah, if we want to do a CC scope, once again, we can see what exactly the size is looking like. That is a pretty small scope to see for the storm. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, yeah, so this southern end is probably where we're going to be looking at for our hail, which makes sense because, again, Justin drew that inflow real nice on the other storm. He drew that inflow moving into that little notch area, and that's where you could see that air coming in and then moving up in the storm. And so we're kind of losing that notch structure now. So yeah, you can see that hailstorm or hail core starting to taper off a little bit, but that is trying to flow in with that heat, that humidity, and trying to keep that updraft alive to support all this hail through here, but it looks like it's starting to peter out a little bit as that continues to move up towards fate. So, but again, this was the most significant storm of the night a few minutes ago as it moved just south of Rowlett. Probably had some golf balls on that. And let's switch entirely to CCs if it's not too messy, and we can go back a couple frames and just kind of take a look at how it looked a few minutes ago and see kind of where that larger hail fell. It's pretty messy, but oh my. Okay, yeah, let's go back to reflectivity and just get a gauge of where the hail core is since we got this whole mess. All right, so there we are. There's our hail core, and if we kind of, maybe it'd be easier to CC scope it. I think that would be a little clearer on here. But if we want to CC scope it, you can see up here is where we had that larger hail, probably in the ping pong to golf ball size range, as well as along the southern end of the storm here. Okay, so probably doing golf balls there. And if we go forward a frame, does it look like that continued? Just a little bit of it continuing to the northeast along with that, and then go forward one more. Looks like it's starting to drop out all of that large hail there. And yeah, there you go. This the hook part of the storm was likely still doing golf balls at that point, but then as it continued to move up northeastward, it started to peter out. So a few minutes ago, that hail core was over Townsend Drive and I-30 here, but it does look like it's starting to peter out as it moves up that way. So we'll keep an eye on it though. We'll keep an eye and see if it continues to try to cycle back up. And ooh, now we got this one just north of Rice, Texas. So let's see what we got going on there. Looks like we do have a rotation marker, so it could be a similar story to or what we just saw. So rotation. Let's take a look at the updraft on that and see how strong that storm is. 1.5 inch. Oh, ooh. Okay. Oh, that doesn't really tell us anything. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's look. I think this might not tell us. I think it might just be the one that tells us the updraft strength, so don't worry about it. Let's do a CC scope and see what we get. And again, if you guys have pictures, if you guys have hail that's falling in your area, holler. There's a ton of hail that's happening through the area right now. So if you want us to focus a little bit more on where you're at, just let us know and we'll hop over. But yeah, it looks like, let's see, can you scoot it off and then back on? Okay, so here's where the hail core is clearest, and then that corresponds with these lower CCs. So yeah, probably doing quarters to $half on that storm, I would say. Down across Alma, is that too far south? Is this where the hail core is? No, yeah, okay. Just this area. Looks like we're probably doing quarters to $half through this storm, and it's continuing to develop. Let's rock it back and forward, see if that hailstorm is developing a little bit as it goes. Ooh. All right, it looks pretty mean over there. Let's take a look at it over Ennis. Let's take a look and see what that did. Yeah, I think it just did a lot of quarters to $half probably as it passed over this area. A lot of those yellows are going to be, where our severe thresholds just begins. So probably doing a high volume of hail, but nothing too large yet. We'll see if it can get developed as it continues to track away from the Ennis area. And then down south of that, let's see, with house in Carrollton. Okay, yeah. Love to hear that sound of hail on a roof. There's nothing like that. Gets us excited for the severe weather season. So, all right, we got a loner cell down near Waco, and holy cow, things are just blowing up here. Let's look at all these that are just tracking away here. That's like a super long anvil cloud with a lot of these, but mostly rural through here, and it looks like they're not getting ramped up quite enough yet. Let's zoom in south of Tyler and just assess what's happening over here. Make sure that's staying subsevere. And Oh yeah, okay. Looks like we've got a couple of storms that are trying to go severe here. Got a hail spike on this one. Let's zoom in on this storm west to Alto. That interests me a little bit. Yeah, whenever you see this reflectivity spike out like this, that's just because the radar beam is coming from this direction, and it's coming towards the storm. It's hitting the hail, and then it's reflecting it back because it's so bright. So you end up getting this hail spike. So yeah, let's see it. Let's see what we can see. No, please don't stop watching the stream because I said that. So okay, quarters to $half through this area for sure. Could be probably dropping some ping pong balls with those greens. So yeah, this one's getting ready to ramp up and produce some larger hail as it continues to move up to the northeast. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a severe warning get issued on this in a few minutes here, likely at least producing quarters to $half. So, and then the rest of these look like they're trying to get going. They'll stay singular, and if they can stay singular long enough, we could get some more storms just like this that formed over Dallas area a few minutes ago, just another eastward version of that as these move into the Alto, Rusk, Palestine area. So we're going to keep an eye on these eastward storms here. But for the main line, it looks like things are starting to cluster up pretty well through the like east of Dallas-Fort Worth. Did we get any more severe reports, Justin? Can we zoom in on that and see if any of those are new? I don't think these two are. I think there might be possible. Oh, Rockwall got one. Ah, nice. An inch. Nice. Okay, yeah, and that checks out. It's starting to peter out as it moved over Rockwall and now into Royce City, so likely doing sub-severe as it continues to go. Looks like that storm lost a little bit of its intensity, and you can see all these storms kind of starting to move in on it, steal away some of the energy that needs to continue to ramp up. So as that happens, these storms are going to continue to cluster together, form that line, and then we're going to start to see more severe winds into later tonight as this band moves into the Shreveport area. And then we've just got this whole mess out here all the way from Plano down into right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. We got this storm down here. But again, that's just going to be a whole mess of some smaller scale thunderstorms than what we saw a few minutes ago here. We do still see some isolated storms popping up through here.
Is tornado warning on this one?
I was just going to say, let's hop into this storm here. So we do see that rotation marker. Can we get the velocity scope up? It looks like you can see that notch right there, and that's where that rotating. Did John? Yeah, no, John unfortunately is just feeling a little under the weather right now, so I'm subbing in today. But let's see. So yeah, here's where that velocity comes together there. That's where we can see that rotation. And then if we go to correlation, is there a debris ball? Not yet. So that's a positive as this continues to push up. What is the warning for? Is it radar confirmed?
Yeah, I'm going to look a real second.
Yeah.
Radar indicated rotation.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good. Could be starting to produce a little bit of severe hail there, but not a whole lot going on right now. So we're going to want to keep an eye on it because it does have that potential to rotate. We get that really tight velocity couplet there. And then we do see some hail that's starting to form, but it's very, very much below severe limits there as that continues to track away from Leonard. And so, we just want to keep an eye on it to see if any tornadoes coming out of that, since it is tornado warned. So that's a good one to keep an eye on. And then the rest of things kind of look like they're starting to peter out as they move away from Dallas. We got a couple there. I'll let you take your pick, Justin. Where do you want to look?
Let's see here. We can focus back in down towards Waco.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so yeah, we've got this whole line, but it is staying a little bit more broken towards Waco. So, we do still see a little bit more of a chance for some hail cores to form. This one across, I forget what the highway was, but this one that's moving up just north of 84 here, we did see some hail coming out of that. It looked like it was just finishing up, just wrapping up any severe activity, but we can do a correlation coefficient once again and just see. So it could be starting to ramp up again. That looks pretty intense in terms of an updraft. Let's see what our correlation coefficient shows. Yeah, let's see. This southern part could be doing a little bit of maybe nickels to quarters here, just east of Mount Calm, but nothing severe, or not much severe through this storm yet, but it could be trying to ramp back up. So we're gonna, again, keep an eye on that, keep an eye on our tornado warning, and let's check these couple of isolated storms down to the north of Rosebud and Marlin. All right, so then we do have a hail core here north of Marlin. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's investigate here. So not a whole lot of rotation that looks to be happening with this storm. We could, yeah, the CCs aren't looking great for severe hail. Maybe doing like half-inch dimes here, just north of Marlin. Let's rock it back and forth, see if it's developing or not. So again, that's north of Marlin, south of Perry. Yeah, so it's trying to get going. You can see that hail core develop as it continues to track northeastward, but right now it's just not doing a ton. So just again, another one to keep an eye on. And then just south of that, we had another hail core that was trying to form. Doesn't look as convincing over just west of Rosebud. Looks more like a mess. And then yeah, we got all this happening out here in the Palestine, now Midway area. Saw a couple of those storms trying to produce some severe hail, so if we take a look at those, you can see what those are up to now. Oh, and there's our severe warning just in time. So what's the severe warning for? I assume quarters, half dollars. Yeah, quarters, 60, checks out. So correlation coefficient scope over that, it was producing severe hail a few minutes ago. As that heads towards Rusk, and yeah, it's probably still producing some quarters where that lowered CC matches up with our brighter reflectivity as that passes over the area and into the I-69 corridor, just south of Rusk. So, gonna watch that. And then got a couple other cells here that are trying to produce severe hail, but oh, that's 632. Oh, it is 632. Holy cow! I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so we got this whole line of storms, and it's all just starting to band up like we kind of thought it would. You know, all those initial severe supercell structures started out, produced that hail for as long as they could, and now they're starting to band up into that wind threat. But looks like the one near Rockwall is still kind of staying by itself, although probably not producing severe hail anymore. We did have this one just east of Waxahachie and just south of Oak Ridge. Looks like that's not doing much anymore. It looks like our severe hail threat for at least the Dallas-Fort Worth metro is starting to kind of taper off a little bit. It just updated a little bit. And then we got, what is this? Ooh, all right, so this is just south of Grand Prairie. Looks like this storm could be trying to start up a little bit. If we go back a few, and then if we go forward a few, yeah, this storm came through Arlington, started to develop a little, is now moving up towards Grand Prairie, and let's see what kind of hail it's producing. It's got a hail core on it with those bright reflectivities, and you can't see super well because it's real close to the radar here, but we could be starting to see some sub-severe hail, but it could be starting to try to creep up towards severe limits as it moves towards Grand Prairie. So got another storm to watch there. Most of these behind the line are going to stay pretty mild for the most part, but if they can get enough energy that's left over from these storms out front, then we could see another round of severe hail on a couple of them. We've got another one up here where 635 intersects 45, looks like. So let's see. Yeah, another hail core on that near Farmers Branch and near Carrollton. Yeah, again, it's going to be a similar story to what we saw over near Grand Prairie. Not a ton happening right now. Let's rock it back and forth, just see where it came. Ooh, can we, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so these two are both trying to develop. And that's back through the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, so you guys could be getting ready for mini round 2, so we're going to keep an eye on those too. For the rest of us, if we zoom all the way out here, the rest of us like I said, are going to kind of start to be seeing that cluster of storms line up as they track east. There's, you know, our McKinney storms. All this is just all banding up and coming together and trying to produce a wind threat later on into tonight. So this band of storms is kind of moving out of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, now making its way towards Shreveport and Tyler. And as it does, going to maintain mostly a wind threat. Could still see some tornadoes along with it as it goes. Yeah, so that's going to be the main story for right now. Got some supercells out here trying to produce severe hail, trying to get a round 2 out between Dallas and the Fort Worth metro, and then this whole area in between is now transitioning to a wind threat. So we'll start to see our hail threat taper off a little bit, start to see our wind threat pick up. So again, if you guys got pictures, if you guys have reports, throw them in the comments, throw them in, email them to media@hailtrace.com, send them on Messenger, you know, help us out, help us verify this at the ground here. Tornado warning for Leonard is continuing. Let's see what. We've still got that couplet there with that red and the green where those meet. We still do have that rotation indicator here. But now if we go to reflectivity, it doesn't look like it has super good structure here. So correlation coefficient, no debris ball still. That is not helpful. Yeah, this is just kind of in a bad spot. You know, when you lose that clarity with your reflectivity, it's not easy to see much else. But looks like we got some backscatter from this, and it's producing a little bit of hail, and that's just scattering across this Leonard storm. It's pretty hard to tell. What's this? See some hail to that north there. Ooh, nice. 1.75 near Ravenna. Let's take a look at that. Let's zoom on into that storm and see what happened there. So this is going to be near the Oklahoma-Texas border here. This is one of those super singular storms that just kind of was off out of nowhere. Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it go up with that hail marker, and then it's starting to come down again. So these are just really short-lived storms. All of these are going up so fast, and then they're dropping that huge hail, and then they're petering themselves out really quickly. So these are going to be just short-lived little bouts of large hail, just like this one produced up here. Doesn't look like much is happening for the tornado warning, so that's fortunate right now. It's hard to see with that backscatter. However, it doesn't have great shape, and then the rest of this is just going to be a mess. And so let's take a look back at what's going on in between Dallas and Fort Worth here. Also, is NPing saying anything, Justin, or are we getting any like Twitter reports of large hail? You know, the more the merrier for ground reports, because, you know, sometimes we get some things on radar that don't match up quite with what happens on the ground. It, you know, happens every now and then, so any of those reports help out. So we got this storm over near I-30, this storm just to the southeast of Carrollton here, and both of these have been trying to cycle up and produce some larger hail. They don't look like they've done a whole lot since we last looked at them. Not a ton of development in those storms. We're not seeing those hail cores get any larger on either of those, but again, it could be producing a little bit below the severe threshold, likely still some hail with that, but not quite up to our $1.25 to $1.5 severe limits yet. So you finding anything, Justin?
Yeah, the one up here by Farmers Branch, bunch of P impings.
There you go.
Oh, there's a dime.
Ooh, a dime. Nice.
Nothing down by Grand Prairie yet.
Okay. All right. Well, it's something to keep an eye on. Like I said, going to be below our 1-inch severe limits, but still probably producing some hail. It's just all that instability really came and went with that first band of storms there. Sent you all some pictures. Thank you. We appreciate that. That helps us out a bunch. Yeah, so we've got these two that are trying to revive themselves in between Dallas and Fort Worth. Got that whole band that's moving out of the way. I want to check on Waco, and then I want to check on our storms out south of Tyler and just see what's happening as we do get those more singular storms. So it even looks like towards Waco, things are starting to band up here. We had that whole cluster just to the northeast of Waco, and then down between Rosebud and Marlin, it looks like things are trying to come together there once again. So we do have a couple of hailstorms. That's most likely going to be subsevere through that area as well. And then let's take a look, jump back out to our Tyler area and see what's wet out there. So those are our singular storms. It looks a little more promising because things aren't all banded up together. So this one near Alto is the one we've been watching with closest right now, the severe warning. So if we zoom in a little bit more on that, do we see any lower CCs? It looks like that hail core might be starting to taper off, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, we get this cluster of lower CCs, but does that correspond with where we have our hail core? Yeah, that's on the back end of this storm. Yeah, that's makes it a lot clearer. Yeah, our CC scope doesn't look great in terms of hail really at all. That looks like it's just going to be heavy rain. Is it trying to cycle up again? Click on that.
Let's see here.
None of these really have been recycling themselves. So yeah, my guess, no, yeah, it's going to stay below severe limits. It looks like this is starting to peter out as well. Yeah, it looks like a lot of this is kind of on.
There might be some 2-inch hail in Frisco.
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, the person that Founders Roofing, those pictures that came in.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Can we look at them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can we pull up our photos if we got some and can show everybody?
I'm not sure if they're in the drive yet.
Yeah, if they're not, then we can't, but we will soon.
I think John's
looks
finding out where it occurred.
Like we said, these storms really blew up. Then they produced just a short amount of large hail, and then it all banded up and tapered off, and now it's transitioning over to that wind threat. So we did have some areas that had ping pong to golf ball sized hail. Have we seen pictures of larger yet, Justin? Sounds like no.
Not really.
Yeah, so it looks like mostly ping pong to golf ball was our largest size report for the night so far. We'll see what else comes in, but it's just, all those storms got raging so quickly and then clustered together so quickly that they didn't have the chance or the longevity to form that really large hail quite yet. So yeah, I mean, we got a hail marker on that, 1.2, so it's trying to go up. It's trying. You said you saw dimes on this, or you didn't get any Grand Prairie pictures yet, did you?
Back towards Arlington, there's a $50. I mean, not a $50. I'm sorry. It was a half-inch.
Oh, half-inch and
Sorry.
$50, man. Come
Sorry
on.
to excite people.
Yeah, so I mean, just some sub-severe hail coming out of both of those as we move up through our second round of storms there. But yeah, looks like most of this is kind of starting to taper off. And you said the photos aren't in drive yet?
I don't know. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, take your time. So yeah, if you guys are just joining us, I'll just recap kind of what we've been talking about tonight. So we saw these storms develop basically where these are right now as just little tiny rain showers, kind of popped out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they blew up as they moved over the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. We saw some quarters through there, $50 through there, and then once they got just to the east, it looks like we saw a few areas of ping pong to golf ball size, but then it turned into this mess really quickly, and so now we just have this line of wind-producing storms. They're also producing sub-severe hail. I mean, we're getting some hail on it, but it's more like, like dimes, maybe like nickels, up to nickels. But it's not going to be looking like a ton of severe hail is going to continue with this line. Mostly out to the south of Tyler, Texas is where we could still see a chance, but those even are starting to taper off a little bit. So now we're just going to bring you guys over to photos if we have any. And again, if you guys have any questions in the comments, or if you have any reports and you want to let us know, we can go back and evaluate some things. We could take a look one more time too. I would like to take a look at the Frisco storm and just kind of recap that for anybody that's still watching. If you can find some photos, go take a look at that. So let's see, why don't I see Frisco on here? This is Plano.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Justin's doing like 18 things behind the camera right now, so he's really helping out. So.
Well, where did you want to go? Sorry.
Frisco. I was just thinking it might be nice to recap that storm, since it looks like it probably produced some decent hail. Ah, there it is. Okay, I see it. Yeah. So can we rock back and forth until that storm passed over the Frisco area? And you said we saw golf balls with that?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
like ping pong and golf ball.
Yeah. How far back can we go? Is it?
I can
Was it this?
go back another.
Okay.
Let's see if I can load it further back.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if it was at 444, but okay. Yeah, so here's where we start to get those storms developing near the Frisco and McKinney area, just south of Prosper. And then as those go up to the northeast, there we get our hail core starting to form, and we get that hail report coming out just to the north of Prosper there. We get a hail marker here, and then that storm is going to continue. Here's our hail core just north of Frisco. So let's see it. Let's see what we got initially. Oh, they're having they're chatting. Let's see. Come on, guys. All right, so yeah, here is our hail core off of that. And we did, ooh, there it goes. Yeah, you can see that race off to the northeast there, just over the Prosper area. Was the hail in Frisco proper? Or do we know that yet?
Let's see here. I mean, I have some pictures pulled up.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, yeah, that's even better. So there you have the development of that storm, the track of it. If we can look at pictures, that would be ideal. Oh.
Did I push the wrong button?
It should be camera 3, but you can ask John. Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. Let's take the CC scope off. And then go back a few frames as it moved over Frisco. So, okay, yeah, there's our hail core that started to form. And then as it pushed up over Prosper, let's go one more forward. And then that's when this hail report pops up. And if we scoot up to the northeast here, or if we can like move the camera kind of like up to the northeast to follow these as they go, so that they're not blocked by like the reflectivity in the title and everything. Nice. All right, so this report came in, and I believe, was this for $50 as that moved over near the Salina area?
It was I saw pictures of the golf ball site.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's from this northward storm that produced that. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that's when that quarter report came in, but it looks like as it passed just between Prosper and Salina, at the max it was doing golf balls. And if we moved it back and forth, you could see where those reflectivities got really bright, where those CCs dropped down into the yellows and the greens, and that's where we got those super high correlation or super low correlation coefficients. And that's when our largest hail fell along with this. And then we have these other couple of storms that passed up near McKinney and just southeastward of Frisco. And those did produce a little bit of hail as they passed upward, but then they tapered off once they got into the McKinney area. And now we are, where everything's kind of off to the east, raced off, formed a line, and now we're kind of in that wind-producing spot. Let's see, 647, yeah. Oh, nice. The storm near Addison now and headed towards Plano. Is it producing hail? Well, let's take a look. So near Plano, we are over by Plano. Oh yeah, this is going to be producing a little bit of hail. That's going to be on the subsevere side. Let's CC it and see if we can tell what exactly is happening there. Yeah, probably like pennies, maybe nickels with that, but it's not going to be severe quite yet. It is producing hail though, if that helps. And then yeah, so if that answers your question, we can clear off the CCs there and then rock it back a few frames, see if it's dying off or if it's developing up. Oh, we can bring up pictures now? Perfect, yeah, okay, so it looks like the storm is starting to develop up, but we are going to show you guys pictures of our Frisco storm and some of the hail reports that came in out of that. I'm going to let Justin tell you guys about those, and I am going to get a drink of water, so if you want to just like, or if I can just like head off.
This came out of Salina. I mean, that's at least some $50 size stuff there. What do we got?
It's in Rowlett.
Rowlett, Texas.
Rockwall.
Oh, Rockwall. Okay, that is I-30 and Ridge Road in Rockwall. This was down. Oh, this is down in Ross, just north of Waco. Looks like it's on John Knotts Road. We got this in Princeton, Texas. So that's a pretty nice stone. And then Waxahachie. That's obviously some $1.25 to $50 size hail. So we've gotten about five photos so far, but I think we're working on adding more to the drive.
There's a lot more in drive. There's a lot more on social media. Those are just what we have saved in
Sweet.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so it looks like a ton of quarters to $50 came out of that. I'm just gonna, ooh, that's a weird view for everybody. Am I still on air?
I'm not doing it, so
all right,
we can
hello
blame
again.
John.
Yeah, so little inside peek of the studio there. Yeah, it looks like we got mostly quarters to $50 through a lot of those storms, and then some of them were able to ramp up. That Rockwall one definitely produced some larger hail for a period of time, and then they just tapered out really quickly as they formed that band, and that's where we're at now. So let's see if there's anything else severe to talk about. I don't want to, like, you know, keep rambling on if there's nothing else severe going on here. I do want to let these get through the Dallas area before anything, before we, you know, cut anything. Obviously, yeah, no, I like that storm you were zoomed in on. Can we see anything happening on that? It's real close to the radar.
It's pretty close to the radar.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's definitely got a hail core that's trying to form there. We'll see if we can get on anything on it. CCs are dropping, and usually when they drop that much close to the radar, it does mean it's producing something. So we'll have to keep an eye just as it tracks a little bit further away from the radar and we get a little more clarity on that. And then just to the west of Dallas, we've got this other cell here. We can see that one has been trying for the past little bit here. This one is the one that tracked just south of Grand Prairie and then moved up to the northeast. Our marker is giving it 1.25-inch hail, so $50. Just means that it's starting to get a moderate updraft there as it moves out towards the Dallas area. What if we do CCs? Can we see any of that? Yeah, not doing anything crazy yet. Maybe like dimes out of that. So it hasn't really done much as it's tracked through Grand Prairie. We got some half-inch reports. I think you said there was a dime or two, Justin, out of one of those. But yeah, it's staying sub-severe. These two will be the ones to watch as they track again into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then let's see what's happening with those singular storms out near, I guess Waco, and then out near the Tyler, Texas area. So there's another hail spike on this one. And then Jacksonville's also got something now. So they're trying to ramp back up. They're trying to cycle back and get us some severe hail going again. So zooming on in to south of Rusk. Again, you can see that hail spike here, which usually is a pretty good indicator for a large hail. When you see that hail spike, it's like, oh yeah, that's probably doing something severe. So CC scopes over that. I don't think that they've been, well, this one is. So yeah, quarters to $50 where that yellow meets that red. And then where we get that green, it's probably doing ping pong to golf ball, honestly. That's been kind of the story of the night with these storms, just a ton of quarters and $50 with all these severe warnings. And then we've gotten some ping pongs and golf balls moving in through there. So the warning, was that the warning or was that the rotation?
That was the warning. It's
okay,
the same
yeah,
warning that's earlier, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, so we got quarters and 60s off of this. So yeah, updraft is now falling below severe limits, so it could be starting to peter out, but we're seeing it kind of do that. It's cycling as it continues to track very slowly up to the northeast. I think it was only just a little bit southwest of Rusk like 10-15 minutes ago, so it's really taking its sweet time, but now it's crossing that I-69 corridor just in between Alto and Rusk, and as it does, likely producing some $50 and probably up to golf balls through the center part of that hail core. And then what's going on near Jacksonville? So we got another hail core through Jacksonville. No warning on it yet, but we do, I mean, it's clearly a hail core. What do we got for our CCs? Okay, yeah, so it's trying. I would say that's probably nickels to quarters. So where we start to see that yellow correlation coefficient, and that's moving into the Jacksonville area now. So if you're in that area, you know, get indoors. You got a good strong thunderstorm getting ready to pass over. But the one to the southeast, just south of Rusk, is really going to be the one that's producing the big guys right now. So most everything is going to be producing subsevere right now. This is probably going to be our best chance at severe hail. What do we got down here now? Hello. We got even more that are forming ahead of that line now, just near Bryan and near Somerville. So these actually look pretty good, guys. This one near Somerville, let's just start out with that one. What's the warning for? And then I want to see what the updraft marker is after that. Yeah, so they're warning this for hail for College Station. Milliken, Snook, and Somerville. So if you guys are in any of those areas, you got a hail core headed towards you as well. Where is College Station on this? Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, there it is, okay. Let's zoom out. So there's College Station, right in that area. So this looks like it might track to the south there. Can we rocket back and forth and see what the track of it is looking like?
For those of you who don't remember, that was our first 5-star map last year in College Station.
Yeah, it was. All right. Good guess, Justin. That was his 5-star pick, was Waco, I think, and so he won. Okay, so yeah, this is moving towards Snook. What's the marker give us for an updraft? I mean, clearly it's got one. It's got a hail core. It's looking pretty mean. Yeah, 1.7-inch marker on that, so it's going up on a Tuesday here. Let's check the CCs and just see what we've got for that as well. Looks like it's starting to try and wrap up. Ooh, and we got a hail spike on it. So you can see that radar beam coming out and hitting that, and so we got that hail spike, quarters to $half through there. And again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it's probably ping pong to golf ball where we get those bright green correlation coefficients here. So if we take off, yeah, where we get the strongest reflectivity there, it's gonna be a little bit offset from where we see those CCs, but where we get that brightest reflectivity there, that's probably where we're going to see those ping pong to golf balls. So if we zoom on in here, not exactly sure, like it's near College Station, so we got to have some good population through there. So here's what it was a second ago, and then I don't know if we can like see roads on that, if we have those loaded up.
What do you want?
Roads, if that's possible.
Let's see if we loaded them this far south. I don't think we did.
That's fine. Okay, so it just moved over Merle, the town of Merle, and it's moving into Snook now. If we like move forward to like, are we current in time? 6:56. Time is flying. We still have that hail spike on this. So, and it just got a new frame. So let's look at it again on that new frame. Let's see.
You want CCs?
Yeah, still doing ping pong to golf ball sized hail on this Snook storm, heading towards the College Station area. May scoot just south of College Station, but we're going to want to watch it because you guys are in the warning. So keeping an eye on this, and then there's one just to the north of it. So we've got a few that are actually, and check out this mad hail spike on this one. Look at that. It's going all the way up from near the Reno area up past Sutton. Holy cow. What is this? Okay, so quarters on that. And so now what's it doing? So it did quarters when it passed over the highway. Now it's moving into the Tabor area. What's it doing now if we load up the CCs? Oh, yeah, all right, sweet. So we got more ping pong to golf ball sized stones. And again, both of these could get ready to ramp up and try to produce that 2-inch hail. But yeah, quarters to $half. Again, where that red meets that yellow, that's kind of where we have that cutoff for our quarters. And then where that green starts up, that's where we start to have the big hail. So that's moving into the Tabor area. And again, mean hail spike on this north one, good hail spike on this Snook storm as well as it moves over towards College Station. So we could have a round 2 here. We do kind of need to bounce around because we have quite a bit going on. So let's leave these for now and let's go check back on our Dallas-Fort Worth area storms. We had a couple that were kind of trying to revive themselves. Looks just based on first look like they're not. So hello, I love that. So yeah, these two were trying to produce some severe hail, but it looks like they're banding up yet again. As this one, it looks like, yeah, just a lot of heavy rain through there, so nothing there. Let's scoot back out east so that we can hop through our severe warnings there. This whole band looks like it's likely warned for winds. Can you query the band? And just, I assume they're dropping the hail sizes. I don't know how long these warnings have been. Yeah, so 1 inch now, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So yeah, as those band up, our severe hail chances kind of take a cliff dive. But we've got these 2 severe storms now that are popping up just south of Tyler and just west of Lufkin. And then we were just looking at these a second ago. So let's hop back up to this north one, and then we'll just kind of make our way south, and then we'll hop back up and do it again. So let's see. All right, so this one was trying a few minutes ago, but it's kind of been cycling over and over. So it looks like it's starting to taper off again, and they'll probably drop the warning on that one, probably doing some severe. Shifting south. Let's see what this other warned storm is just to its south here. Can you rock that back and forth a few times? I think this is a new warning that we've gotten here. Yeah, so it looks like it just recently started developing a hail core. So if we look at our warning, if we query our warning and then that marker, we'll see what it's warned for, see how much it's, yeah, so they're just warning this straight for hail. And then we'll see like how powerful that updraft is with that storm there. Let's see. Yeah, $0.50. So has potential. Let's okay, now we've gone through that, let's check out our CCs for the area, see if it's actually doing $0.50, even though that's what it has the potential to do. Ooh, and it is. So quarters to $0.50 all the way through that area, and that matches up pretty well with our brightest reflectivity. That's where that hail is falling. And then, again, some larger stones, probably up to golf balls where you see those greens. That's a good indicator of that. We're really waiting for those deep greens and those blues, and that's when we get that real big hail. But, I mean, a golf ball is a golf ball, guys. So we're getting probably some golf balls moving up towards Lovelady, Texas, into the early evening hours tonight as that continues to track forward. And then tracking back downwards, these are real interesting to me because, again, check out the hail spike on those. That's doing some big hail. That is a crazy hail spike there. Okay, so we've seen it come back, and let's rock it back and forth here. It developed pretty quickly. Well, there it goes, and you can't really, I guess, see it as it comes on screen, but it developed pretty quickly as it moved towards the highway, up and over it. Now it's starting to, you know, get this well-developed hail core. The hail spike is starting to taper off a little bit, so it's probably starting to try and just dump out all the hail. But if we look at our CCs, I'm guessing it's still probably doing ping pong to golf ball. So, yeah, quarters to $0.50 mostly now, and like I said, it's trying to dump out all of that hail. So we probably do still have some isolated golf or ping pong balls in there, but it's mostly doing quarters to $0.50 right now. It's on its way out as severe hail goes, and then down to this last one. Looks like it's trying to do the same thing. So again, just rock it back and forward. We can see the life cycle of that storm as it passes up through Snook. So it develops there, really gets going over Snook, and now it's starting to taper off. You see that hail spike die. You see that reflectivity core die with that hail core as it just, again, that's what these storms have been doing. They've just developed, ramped up so quickly, got themselves going. It's doing quarters to $0.50 still now, but it just dumps all of that large hail out of it so quickly, and then they just peter out. And so that's what we've been seeing. That's going to be what we're continuing to see. Quarters to $0.50 through those, through that Snook storm tonight here, 7:02 p.m. Central Time, as we continue to see this severe weather threat develop here. So we got a continued severe thunderstorms through this band that moved its way out of Dallas. Things are starting to peter out here. Looks like we've got maybe even is that a severe thunderstorm warning up in Oklahoma? Eyesight's subpar, but yeah, you know, just kind of some scattered messy storms through that area. That doesn't look like much, probably just some loud, gusty thunder wind with that storm. And then just that whole line all the way from Dallas area down through Corsicana into Waco, and now just north of Austin's where we're getting the tail end of that storm. But over here near Bryan, Texas, and then south of, well, I guess south of Tyler, Texas, we've been seeing these storms develop, but now those are kind of starting to peter out. It's just been short-lived little spurts of crazy big hail, and then it just kind of dies out. So if we want to go back to the north, are we getting any M-pings, Justin, of anything indicative of larger hail than golf balls?
Let's see here.
You kind of have to sort through all the M-pings on radar scope and kind of click through them all, so it's a little bit of a tedious process, but you can see these storms all started out isolated. That's when you had that large hail threat that was the most prevalent, and now they're starting to cluster together, and you're starting to see that hail threat taper off. Same thing with these. We got a quarter report out of this storm, and we got this storm producing some severe hail as it passed up to the northeast. But then, again, they're starting to run into each other, and they're starting to run out of that severe instability, and so they're starting to die off. So we're just getting, again, real short-lived periods of severe hail tonight in through this Texas threat. But the most prevalent hailstones have been ping pong to golf ball size through just east of Dallas through Rockwall. We got some of that. Looks like these Brian storms did some golf balls as well. And then just south of Tyler on this warning, we got some golf balls with that too. Any MPings for larger hail?
A lot of P's to sort through.
Nice. Yeah, so those aren't going to be really helpful. But yeah, so let's, I guess, just hop back on this Tyler storm. We're kind of waiting now for those storms to move all the way out of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro and make sure none of these do anything unexpected before we leave you guys for the night. So this is our storm that was moving up towards Lovelady. Again, looks like it's starting to kind of peter out. So let's see. See it? Yeah, so $1.50. It is what it is, you know. It starts moving up to the northeast, and then that hail starts to kind of all fall out of it. And then, is that a new report?
The one over here by Rockwall?
Yeah, is that new?
I think that's a quarter report.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of them all. Yeah, this isn't doing much, just a band. Yeah, that was, okay, yeah, that was from 6/21. Any threats to the Houston area? So hail is starting to taper off pretty quick here, but it is forming into this band. If you want to zoom all the way out, Justin, I can just show them. So we've got this whole band of storms that's tracking out towards Shreveport and towards Houston. That's going to continue to develop out towards the southeastward side, and we're going to get these that are kind of doing the same. So as those band up, we're going to get that wind threat. You still could see some small hail. That's kind of been the story right now through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, is that first threat moved out of the way, and now we're starting to see, you know, dimes, maybe a spare penny here or there, but nothing crazy severe expected for Houston tonight. Mostly just a gusty wind threat. But speaking of hail, I think these two are new, aren't they? Just
yeah, I believe so.
Southern Oklahoma. Let's see what we got there. I assume that's from this storm. Let's see. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, golf balls near Ravenna. Yep.
Is this one? I can't remember.
Yeah, near Tom Bean from that storm that passed up through that area. So we looked at that a few minutes ago. Just another short-lived severe hailstorm as we move through the area. You're welcome, Austin. Appreciate you guys watching us. We enjoy your all's viewership. But yeah, we got this line of storms that's passing through, transitioning mostly over to a wind threat. If you want to query the severe thunderstorm watch, we can see, I doubt they've updated it. Monday at 10 p.m. And that's all you know. Do you know, can you read anything on your end, Justin? I don't know if there's been any updates. I assume there have not.
There is not.
Yeah, okay. Well, bottom line is this is going till 10 p.m. So we're at 7 p.m. here, and this is already pretty much moved out of the area. And then we've got these little storms that have formed south of Tyler, but even those are starting to lose some steam here. And so, I don't know. What do you think, Justin? Where do you want to go?
We can double check back on there's one down here.
All right, let's do
but
it.
I think they're losing their strength from what I can tell
Yeah.
on radar scope.
Oh, we looked at that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, they're losing their strength for sure. I mean, you can't even see like a heavy rain core on that anymore. So this one's done. It did miss College Station, right? College Station, I think, is like right in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so it scooted south of College Station. And then this one just to the west of Madisonville is still trying to produce some small hail, but it's probably more towards a half-inch. Yeah, no rotation on any of those, so not a tornado threat. How about this one near Trinity? Is it near Trinity? I thought I read Trinity. Okay. Oh, yeah, so Loveland and Trinity. Yeah, that one's dying out as well. Looks like this severe threat is starting to pretty quickly transition towards wind. That has been the main story for the past few minutes here. And it looks like, how's everything looking towards the Dallas metroplex? Is everything out of the way?
Basically. I mean, some showers.
Okay.
Some to the north.
What do you think, Justin? Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, these are along, I think, the actual front.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm going to let Justin give you guys a little rundown again, and I'm going to get another drink of water.
All right, well, she hydrates. Like you said, I think the biggest hail that we've seen today was probably golf ball. I think the most impacted areas would be the Prosper area and possibly the Frisco area. So we'll have to go in and evaluate and look at all the pictures and intersections and kind of put 2 and 2 together. But for the most part, like she said, this is transitioning to a more of a wind threat as it moves off to the east, as it gets out over into the trees in East Texas. So right now, I don't see anything that is dropping severe hail. So we did get a new report down here.
Sweet. All right. All right. Let's see. Is this a new report? Oh yeah, it is. What do we got? Yeah, quarter-sized hail, dime to quarter-sized off of Castinson Road. I'm thinking it probably did a little bit bigger than that in some areas. But again, just dumping a ton of hail with that storm as it passed up to the northeast. So did do severe hail, both of these, but it looks like they're tapering off for now. And it looks like Justin said, not a lot doing any severe hail at this point. Looks like everything's transitioning over to wind. So I think it would probably be a decent time to hop off here, and if we do get more severe weather that starts to pass through metro areas, we can always come back on and keep you updated. But yeah, don't want to keep you guys from your night, so we'll hop off here and we will update you as needed, but make sure to follow all of us on social media here. That is not what I thought that was going to do. Wait, can I just go to the end? Heck yeah. All right, so you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then you can contact us via all of the methods listed next to me here. Be sure to get in contact, and you can always message us with your hail pictures, your photos, your questions. We love hearing from y'all. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.